continue to work on it now. My name is Paul James. I host English News every morning.
And a Golden Angel Award ceremony.
Hello, dear friends, my lovely audiences. Welcome to the East-West Show that is exclusively sponsored by Wolfers, the Belgian royal family designated brand of jewelry with 400 years of glorious history, hand-forged by 10 generations of #1 craftsmen on the global earth. Together, they represent as testimony to the spectacular and the share of royal glory. To the show. Today with me is my good friend, my brother. I joke around. I said my brother by the same mother. Well, look at what he has on the face, though. you can confirm that. Mr. Chris Shahinian, former candidate for California Assembly, for California Senate, and now a political commentator. What I do adore him is that this gentleman has what California need in the very basic, that is common sense. Welcome back to the show with your common sense.
Thanks for having me.
Very good. I'm excited you're here again because it's been some time since the last show you were here, right?
Well, yes, every time we come here, we get excited, I guess, just that excitement, it's firing us up.
Yeah.
I'm
every
thankful.
time we get here, we get excited, and you need time to take a rest.
Definitely, yes. And this time it's getting more serious, I think, today. As we see what's going on in our nation, it's heartbreaking, let me tell you this way.
All right, good. And I do agree with you because we are really facing a critical moment at the present time.
Yeah.
The impeachment was hot for a week and a half, and for the past week a little bit, it's subdued or quiet for a little bit, however, still there, right? I always say this to my audiences that we do not do the news perspective. We do what's behind the news, right? We peel off the first layer, we go back, we go behind, we go to the core of the onion by peeling layer after layers until we get to the core, right? So, to the impeachment though, I know you're a Democratic, right? As a Democratic, of course, you're not on the extreme left side. As a Democrat, what's your take about the impeachment, please?
Thanks for having me, Jack, again. So every time we come here together, we discuss issues that, related to our nation's interests. And I remember a couple months ago, we have briefly discussed this issue about what was going to happen after Mueller's report. I have told you back then that impeachment is not going to happen because in order to impeach a president and to remove him from office, you need 2/3 of Senate majority. And I told you no one has that. But the procedure, impeachment procedure is another thing. You can start procedure. And right after 2016 election, I'm going to go back a little bit. We Democrats were ready to celebrate a victory of first female president, Hillary Clinton. All the polling signs, everything was, positive that Democrat, they're going to win. It's going to be continuous, continuity between Obama and Hillary Clinton. But the election day proved otherwise. People voted different. And this is the beauty of our nation. This is the beauty of democracy. We all think, that, one candidate or one party is going to win, but we the people decide who is going to lead our country as a president or leader.
The most dynamic of our politics.
Yes. And what happened, that was a shocking wave for Democratic Party. because all numbers were there,
Yeah.
and how that numbers didn't reflect reality. And instead of, I'm a Democrat, instead of we start looking our problem, why we end up there, I do have the answer for that, but I'm not going to give you that. We look the other side.
All right.
What he did that, make us in this situation. And immediately, right after, Democratic Party start looking for opportunity to take Donald Trump down, uncredit him. 2 years we spent with Mueller report. 2 years. Yes, Mueller report, 500 page, no one is going to read it. But summary of Mueller report, yes, the president, done things, unprecedented, compared to other presidents. But the report came that, no smoking gun.
Yeah.
No smoking gun.
Yeah.
That frustrated Democrat more because we spent 2 years to get something, right?
And
We're empty-handed now.
for nothing.
Nothing. And particularly for a group of people that were fighting, aggressively to put dirt on a president. And I remember we talked this. My viewpoint is completely different from my party. I say, you know what? He's the president. Give him a chance. Let him run 4 years, good or bad. And then 4 years later, with 2020, let's, get our army back. Let's our troop back, fight back in the election day, not, putting this. But I'm probably minority in Democratic Party because, we are aggressively going to the left, more left.
All right.
And I have nothing against the ideology, but it has to fit for our nations, not one group of people. It has to fit. So after that,
at that very point, I really have to make an insertion here. What United States as nation need is the core of the issue.
right.
It's not what you have with your partisan ideology. Right?
True.
So that's my point. Go back.
And the Mueller report became no smoking gun. Now, right after, we start looking for other things. And whistleblower came.
And there came the whistleblower.
And now there's two whistleblowers. Now whistleblower is a Democrat. Now whistleblower was working with Democratic candidate. Now whistleblower met with Adam Schiff. Now it's like things. It's not just like clean cut procedure for impeachment. This is more. Yes, everybody thinks they're protecting Constitution. Democratic Party protecting Constitution. White House, the letter that sent yesterday, the White House counselor, we're not going to cooperate with this impeachment because unconstitutional. What we're heading now, believe it or not, it's going to be constitutional crisis because two sides they think they're protecting Constitution, and we go back 40 years ago during Nixon impeachment process. And what happened, Nixon back then, the president, he refused to cooperate with the back then, impeachment. He said, I refuse to give any subpoena. I'm not going to respond. They went to court. And the court said, no, Mr. President, you're not above the law.
Yeah,
you have to work with our system. And Nixon knew that it's going to be very bad for his career. He resigned. Now we are right there with the point that Nixon refused to apply to the subpoena, and giving evidence to the impeachment. For me, I look at the history. We're not the same 40 years ago. Now our country divided 50-50 exactly. 50-50. In our history, we passed so many, bumps, so many bumps. Civil War, Voting Right Act, and all this bump was ahead of us. And impeachment was not that major issue. We went to impeachment. And the last one was the Clinton impeachment. I was there. I was a young man back then, 1998. But it wasn't like this. The country was not divided.
Exactly.
And people were watching the news. Yes, we were deciding, because the Clinton I remember he said, I didn't have any relationship with Lewinsky.
No, I didn't do anything.
I didn't do anything. Proved otherwise.
Yeah.
And now the fear of impeachment.
He did not commit himself, admit what he did until the cigar thing.
Yes.
Until the tie, remember?
Yes, I remember.
All right. The stand on the tie or something like that.
I remember
right?
exactly what happened. And I'm going to remind the impeachment process was not Lewinsky started. If you go back, it was Paula Jones' issue. There was a relationship. It wasn't Lewinsky.
Yes.
But that's I think the fear of White House now. If they cooperate with the impeachment, it's going to come to the Lewinsky issue. A lot of things are going to open. Who knows what in tax return Trump? Who knows Ivanka Trump is doing? Who knows Jared Kushner what he's doing? And it's all mess now. It's all mess. And are we going right direction? No. This is good for our country? No.
Okay,
absolutely
all right.
no.
My good friend, I thank you very much for such analysis, and we want to take a little break. But one thing I want to make sure that we want to understand one huge point my friend Mr. Shahinian just made, that time is different.
Totally different.
All right.
Everything expected, straight. It's like the scenes on waves. My name is Paul James. I host English news every morning.
And a golden angel award ceremony.
Hello, dear friends, lovely audiences. Welcome back to the East-West Show. Jack Chow hosting, and this show is exclusively sponsored by Wolfers, the Belgian royal family designated brand of jewelry with 400 years of glorious history and hand-forged by 10 generations of the greatest craftsmen on the global earth. Together, they represent a testimony to the spectacular and a share of the royal glory. Back to the show. With me is my dear friend, well-renowned political commentator, Mr. Chris Shahinian. Mr. Chris Shahinian was once a candidate for California Senate, and I checked with him, and he is only checking about the right time to make his next move. And I did recommend him, and I still do. Please go ahead, because California needs common sense. This person, this individual, I don't care where he's from. He is, a matter of fact, a Democrat, and I don't even care about that. I believe he represents, to my eye, common sense, right? Back to the common sense, though. One thing you pointed out that is very important, even though in our history we had impeachment with Richard Nixon, we had impeachment with Bill Clinton, right? The big thing for us to note is that back then it was the people, the country, all together.
True.
Now we are divided historically, unprecedentedly. So now you're talking about impeachment, you're going to better ask whose impeachment? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Now,
go back to your point.
Well, the point that, the 40 years ago and 20 years ago during Clinton was different. Look at the name calling that's coming from two sides.
Oh, yeah.
Name calling.
Name calling,
Back
finger
then,
pointing.
Back then, there was never you heard, betrayer, treason, obstruction of justice, crime, abuse of power. None of this was there. There was relationship, that Trump did, sexual relationship, not Trump.
Clinton, Bill Clinton. Did, yeah.
I don't know about Trump. I don't want anybody thinking I'm just putting dirt. But there was no direction that that we are going betrayal, treason, and lock him up or
all those big words.
All those big words now coming because it's for us. It's clear sign. Not from the people in the street we're talking. They're not just like, people talking, me and you. This is coming from executive branch. This is coming from member of Congress. You should have seen yesterday when, after Adam Schiff, he said, if you don't cooperate with me, this is a sign of unconstitutional crisis. And then right after, Republican came in, they start bashing each other. And this is for the people looking at this. For us, I think we should sit back and not allow this two branch of government destroy our country. And the impeachment has a process, steps go. We are in the first step now. I still believe it's not going to be.
Okay, all right, good. I appreciate your depth of the analysis. Let me ask questions one by one. Let's see if we can get to the same page, right? Okay. It calls for 2/3 of the Senate to finally approve the impeachment, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do the Democrat people, right, understand that? Do they know
Yes,
that?
they do not.
Do they have a picture if they did or did not have the majority? Super majority.
Yeah, let me tell
Absolute majority.
Yeah, let me tell you. Number one, in the House of Representatives, you don't need 2/3.
Yes.
You need majority, and 51 plus 1, you get majority. I think Democrat they have that in order to try this case. Basically get evidence. Like any court you go, you collect evidence. Now we have 450 people. They're gonna see all this document. They're gonna make decision what it's gonna be on this case. So they have that, and once they have collect all evidence, which is not happening now. Eventually, what's going to happen? It's going to go to court, Supreme Court, and Supreme Court is divided also. I'm hoping that in the Supreme Court judges they don't politicize what's going, and they make a constant decision what the best in our Constitution.
Actually, my question was to find the motive. The motive.
I'll tell you. I'm going to go there. I'm going to go there.
Yeah,
I'm going to go there. The motive is. And if Supreme Court say you have to work with House of Representatives, they're going to collect evidence, and more evidence they collect, they're going to find in those evidence word, sentence, text, email. Somebody said something, which there's a lot of them, okay? And they're going to build it. It's going to take about a year, maybe. It's not going to be like next 2 weeks or 2 months, as I say. It's going to drag this, until close to election. If they pass House of Representatives, it's going to be easy. They're going to have 2/3, not to majority. They're going to go to Senate. Senate, because it comes. They're going to be the court. Senate is going to be the judge. So they collect the evidence. So they're going to appoint somebody manager to oversee this process. They have to appoint, and from that point, they're going to start discussing, looking at the evidence. Okay. And if House Majority Mitch McConnell said, let's look into it. Let's look into it. They can go take time to look at the evidence. It might, Mitch McConnell say, no evidence, delay, the case will be closed completely. But with Democrats, they're going to get this. They're hoping. They are hoping. So now I'm talking like, neutral. So I don't want to be one party.
Yeah, that's exactly where I prefer.
And we like Clinton case started with Paula Jones.
Paula Jones, yes.
Paula Jones started because like sexual relationship, end up Lewinsky. Democrat hoping that they can collect information. Yes, they can find smoking gun somewhere, some another. That's not going to take Donald Trump down. It's not going to take him down because they still don't have 2/3 in the Senate to take him down. So what's going to happen? They're going to win the public, support. See what he has. So, and they're hoping that that's the way they're going to win presidential election. My point of view, no. Why we have to do that? If we can't win by going to the poll, let's see why. Let's see what's the reason. Is that the reason because we're going to left? Is that the reason that people, they're not voting for Democrat? We have to analyze ourselves instead of looking for the president, falls something so we can impeach him. That's my take on this.
All right. Thank you for that. That means that you're going to say, what you're trying to say is that knowingly they will not succeed in the long run, end of the day, right?
Yeah.
They still want to bring up the smoke.
Yep.
All right, so that they will win the public support by having them recognize what the quote-unquote deeds President Donald Trump has been conducting. On the other hand, of course,
and Donald Trump is fueling that. Donald Trump is failing now because every time he goes up, TV, he's fueling them, giving them more ammunition.
Some kind of a defamation.
But he's absolutely, Trump is, fueling that case, and they can build because if I was Trump, don't tweet, get up on TV, tell the truth, and then don't be paranoid by impeachment. Just impeach, fine.
But he's persistent on what he's doing, right? He's tweeting like crazy. And he's still kind of like not controlling his mouth.
Yep.
All right. And he's on the trap.
That's
the
Democratic way cashing in that he's going to make more mistake. He's going to lose the public trust.
And again, on the Democratic side, I recall that day when Nancy Pelosi announced the impeachment, officially announced the impeachment, though, it was a time the content of the whistleblower's report was not seen. The script of the content of the whistleblowers was even not released. In other words, the decision was made even before seeing the evidence.
Now we knew that.
Does that make something?
No.
Make something to you?
Now the news
make some sense to you?
No, because now we knew that Adam Schiff met with the whistleblower before the whistleblower comes out. See, we didn't know things back then, so maybe they knew things. We don't know. We didn't know.
Do you think the whistleblower really existed?
Whistleblower, I think it's a real person, but who is that person? No one knows. Who motivated him? We don't know that. That's what Trump wants to identity. He wants to identity. It could be real person. Yeah.
Lots of people say that they have the doubt the whistleblower did not even exist.
It could be. We don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, and Trump, when Trump asking identify who that person is, we can see who that person is. He has kind of right, but again, knowing our Constitution, the House of Representatives, they are calling the shot now, not the White House.
All right, my dear friends, let's take another moment out. We come back to, it looks that we probably kind of like, we feel the inside already. Let's take a moment out. We come back, we will continue. Stay with us, please.
We have continued to work on it now. My name is Paul James. I host English News every morning.
and a golden angel are worth seven.
Hello, dear friends, my lovely audience, the brothers and sisters of fellow citizen. Welcome back to the discussion with my friend Chris Shaheen, a political commentator on the East-West show that is exclusively sponsored by Wolfers, the Belgian royal family, designated brand of jewelry with 400 years of glorious history, hand-forged by 10 generations of greatest craftsmen on earth. Together, it represents the testimony to spectacular and the share of the royal glory. Back to my friend Chris Shaheen. We noticed not only the fact that during Monica Lewinsky's time and Richard Nixon time, the nation was not divided, but back then, like take Clinton's case for example, the evidences were solid, right? And the Richard Nixon time, the balance were recorded,
Yes.
solid, right? Now this one with a whistleblower, we do not even see a whistleblower. We do not even exactly see the whole thing released. I mean, what does that mean to you?
Again, back then, we didn't know about Lewinsky until, we went deeper impeachment. On Nixon, we didn't know about Nixon until, White House counsel, exposed thing, And we don't know as of today when that's going to happen, when it's going to be shift, from the inside the White House. So looking at as we today, I think as far as procedure, if Adam Schiff see there's enough evidence to impeach him, they should go forward. That's given as constitution. But what is in the details, we don't know. And if Donald Trump has nothing to hide, if it's clean, he should not worry about impeachment. He should not worry. Yes, it's a lot of stress. Yes, it's a lot of pressure on him. But he should come out, you know what? You guys want to impeach me? Is that what you want?
Because I haven't thought about that. Probably that's true.
Yeah, because 6 months ago, he said, if you impeach me, it's going to benefit me. Go ahead and impeach me, right? He said that. Now that he's in impeachment process, he's not taking it as he's supposed to take. So that's why, for me as a Democrat also, watching this process, I don't agree, but I want to know the truth also. I want to know. And a conversation between him and Ukraine president, I read the transcript. It can go both sides. If you Democrat, you can say, yeah, you see, there's a smoking gun here. If you Republican, say, no, this is perfect call. Nothing wrong with this. I think now, two-party fighting. And we the people are between them. We the people between two parties.
To be better, we the people are caught in between.
Yes, exactly. We're caught in between.
We're not in between. We're caught in between.
We're caught in between, and we are confused now. If you listen, Fox News, watch Fox News. They laughing at Democratic Party, and watch CNN and MSNBC. They are laughing at the White House. And they think this is going to be a disaster. They're going to expose what I think it's going to be a disaster for our country.
If I put together all your statement, I may conclude, correct me if I'm wrong, all right, good, that from day one when Donald Trump took office, which was a surprise to everyone, including the Republicans themselves though, it is determined at the Democratic side to overturn him, to get him out of the office. Regardless whatever he did, regardless what happened, whatever, and the goal is there to get this guy out of the White House.
Okay.
Was that just my conclusion or what?
When in politics, if you the other party wins, you're not going to give him like a honeymoon time. You know, some they said you have to give him at least 100 years until you start fighting. When Obama won presidency, back then, Republican majority they say, no, we're going to do everything to not cooperate with Obama. We're going to do everything to not cooperate. That's political statement. You can do that. That's perfectly okay to not cooperate with him because you don't like him. But to fight to take him down, that's another level.
I personally know a Congress member, without mentioning your name, all right, ever since Donald Trump took office, all my email requests was never returned. You know what? At my job, I'm not only just doing the show. I also help managing the team, the administration work. For that, I quite often would have to request certificate, confirmation, recognition, stuff like that, right? So all my email requests, never one was returned from this particular office. However, every time I get something from this office, it was one thing. There are so many days left until we can move this guy out, right? Donate me and how much, da 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 da. As for the content of my request, never a word mentioned.
Yeah, I see
And
that.
I know that it's so determined as a party, the strategy is already there, right? Preeminated that it is their target mission to remove Donald Trump out of office. Am I right?
You're right, absolutely right. And that's why Democratic Party even divided now. Even Democratic Party is divided.
All right.
Which is, it's a big party. We're talking about biggest party in United States. So millions of people. There's a lot of ideology in this platform, and some of them extremely left, and the center is getting weaker and weaker and weaker. So the struggle 2016 in Democratic Party was again the same thing, centrist and Bernie Sanders group leftist. So that's what we lost the presidency 2016, not because of the Trump. We didn't lose our president because of Trump. He was so smart, so strong, he had so much money. No. We lost it because Democratic Party was divided. So now, Democratic Party trying to gather all this troops together to take him down. What I would say, if we're going to go to impeachment process, okay, we started now, it's going to die in the Senate. It's going to die. I would advise Republican, work with the impeachment, give him whatever you have, as much as you can, because we don't want to go constitutional crisis. We don't want to, create an atmosphere where fanatics, they take control. They can control the White House. They can control the street. They can control our nation. And they are ready. A lot of fanatics, they're ready to get out to the street, start shooting one another, start doing everything that, we don't want to
I understand.
happen.
But the word Constitution seems to be a banner that everybody is waving.
Yep.
That everybody is waving, right? As a matter of fact, in the Constitution, what content in Constitution that gives each party their weapons?
Well, because impeachment, there's like one sentence, crime or misdemeanor. Crime or misdemeanor. So if you can find on the president crime or misdemeanor, then that's enough evidence for you to take him down. Now, for impeachment process, abuse of power. So treason, that's what treason, betrayal, by Trump calling Ukraine president, I need a favor from you. They call that, inviting other nations in our politics. I have a news. We are part of, other nations' politics for years. We are, interfering, in Middle East politics, election, presidential, everything. We appoint president. We appoint 40 years ago Saddam Hussein as Iraq president, the United States. We brought the, Khomeini to Iran. Look at the history. So we took down the Iranian elected democratic government. We did a coup so we can bring, Shah Iran. We did the same thing on Gaddafi. We brought Gaddafi to power and then we took him down. Look at the history. We've done so many things in other nations. This is normal relationship, calling each other, getting something, giving something. If we think, in politics doesn't involve give and take, I don't think, I think we are so naive. That's politics, But I have to say this. If Trump, that call, the same call, was between Giuliani and President of Ukraine, that could have been completely different category, completely normal.
But you look at what is released so far in between the president of Ukraine and Donald Trump, there was nothing serious talked about.
There was no pressure at all. There was no pressure.
Nothing at all,
I can
right?
tell you there was. But if you sit down, we're going to analyze the background, what's going to happen, all this. You can take word by word. Yeah, this word mean, pressure. I mean, yeah, if you're looking for excuse, I have to tell you, if I'm looking for excuse to put you down, I can find a couple of
You
excuses
can
on
always
you.
find.
Yeah, I can. Oh, the wiring is not perfect.
Yeah, you can
look
always.
at you. Look
You
at you.
can always.
You heard.
Yeah.
But I think this is silly now. But this silliness is taking us to very, very dangerous zone.
All right.
So dangerous that,
right.
I'm afraid that, yes, we're going to see chaos in the street.
Very good. Let's take a short moment now that we come back to talk about the danger. All right. And I would say not only we are saying that we are at a critical moment, we're saying that we are at a dangerous moment.
We are.
What about that? Stay with us. We'll be right back, please.
Everything. We have continued to work on it now. My name is Paul James. I host this news every morning.
And a Golden Angel Award ceremony.
Hello, my dear friends, my lovely audiences. Welcome back to the East-West Show. With me today is my dear friend, Mr. Chris Shahinian, former candidate for California Senate. And we are talking about, as a nation, where we're heading. So after seeing what we see around us, we really have the worry, the trepidation is humongous that we, the people, caught in between, really wonder as a nation where we're going, where we're heading, right? Anyway, with analysis with Mr. Chris Shahinian had done so far, it led us step by step to the point that we are at a dangerous moment. We are at a dangerous moment. Instead of we are at the critical moment, we are at a dangerous moment. So how dangerous it is?
America is in lose situation now. America, I'm not talking politics now. So we are walking in a landmine without detector. You understand what I'm saying? We don't have detector.
We never know when it's going to blow up.
We never know when it's going. And we are walking in a landmine. It's going to be like about very soon we're going to see, explosion that's going to happen. So this is very dangerous, and a lot of people already in social media, they're expressing they have arm already, weapons, they're ready to get to the street. How much that's going to affect our nation, I don't know. We've been there in Civil War. It's not similar situation. I think the army will contain that quickly, but we are going to war zone. This is not good for our country. This is not good for any party.
Thank God the initial spirit of our Constitution for our amendment of Second Amendment of bearing arms is to prevent a situation as such.
Back
When
then,
you were pushed to a corner like this, though, so here's the weapon. This is why the Constitution give you the weapon. So does that mean the word dangerous?
let me tell you, back then, when we add Second Amendment, we were talking a gun only fire certain things, certain distance, and now the technology changed now.
Oh yeah, of course.
I mean, it's not the same. We can't look at the same. I think back then, yes, their ideology was, to protect, and we were feared that, back then, British influence is going to make revolt the Americans against Americans. Now we don't have that. Now it's going to be more.
But it's happening right in front of our eyes.
It is happening, and I think I'm just. I don't have a word to say, but
Don't feel nervous. Say
but it's
it makes everybody nervous.
Yeah, we are going to the cliff for sure, and if Donald Trump is going to go down, he's going to take down everything with him. So trust me what I'm saying. If they're going to impeach Donald Trump, they're going to take his presidency. Believe me, it's going to be chaos, chaos in the street, chaos in the stock market, chaos in everything. So we cannot handle another big recession and chaos in the United States.
All right. Say it again, please. If Donald Trump is going to go down, he's going to go down with everything.
He's going to down with everything. So
everything was going to be sacrificed with him.
I believe so.
Okay.
This is not going to be a smooth ride. This is not Clinton.
What if
Trump is not Clinton, and the time is not Clinton time now?
Of course.
Yeah.
We analyzed that already because the country is divided already, right? And now, suppose if Trump succeeded going through the whole process of impeachment and remained intact. What if, how about that?
Oh, Democrat, they're going to lose 2020, period.
Another word,
They're going to lose.
Another word, if Trump succeeded this impeachment, or another word, if Trump, let me rephrase it.
It becomes clear.
Yeah, it makes me so nervous that
Yeah.
I'm missing words. So now,
Me too. Yeah, I'm
Sure.
nervous because this is not.
make me nervous. If Trump can survive the impeachment, he will automatically continue his next presidency. Am I
He
right?
has to be reelected.
to be
yes.
reelected.
Yes, yeah.
Reason being why?
He can be elected because, then, let me tell you, let me just add one more. If Trump's come clean, because Democrats were looking, we are assuming that, there's a lot of dirt that's going to turn.
We're assuming he's
assuming
clean.
that he's going to have, if it's clean, yeah, he's going to be our president for another 4 years. I guarantee you.
What if I tell you everybody's dirty?
Well, dirty as far as, in politics, yeah, no one. I think, Biden
Of
is
course,
clean.
yeah, of
Look
course.
at Biden, what's
Everybody
happening.
is, everybody is,
When I
everybody
say
is.
clean, and I'm not talking about, minor here and there, text here, clean as
The other day I was at the Yorba Linda in the city hall. I was talking to somebody regarding the Richard Nixon's
Impeachment?
Watergate thing, right? And you know what the answer? The answer is, of course he did it. Of course he did it. But who didn't do it?
Well, yes.
Right?
Well, we can't say who didn't do what Nixon did. Well, we can't say, every president doing what Clinton
course,
is doing.
in their own way.
A different way, but, not
Different
every
way.
president, have a Lewinsky under the table. Let me tell you.
yeah.
But they all have some dirt. When you are in politics, this level, I guarantee you are playing with the, so many things. But
of course,
that's
not a Watergate, it might be a Firegate.
That's what I said. If Trump is going to go down, he's going to expose everybody. He's going to expose.
Now, yeah. Let's just assume if that happens, right? When everybody ends up not clean, everybody ends up dirty though. I pull your pants down, you put my pants down, and we all naked, 2 naked men. So what if that happens?
I think that's if we don't want that to happen, but if it happen, everybody start exposing, pants down, then American public, they're going to see how corrupt is our politics is.
I'm worried about as a nation where we're heading.
We are heading to chaos. We're going to have period of time, constitutional crisis. We're going to have civil unrest.
Yeah.
We're going to have civil unrest. But, I think we're going to have period of time, chaos probably, but we will prevail, I think. I believe America will prevail.
In the long run, we will.
We will prevail.
However,
America is stronger than...
No. In the long run, we will.
Yeah, we will.
However, in front of us, at the current, present time, we have to suffer quite a bit.
We are.
Because I pull your pants down, for the revenge you put my pants. As a result, we have no pants on.
Everybody's going to get hurt, believe me.
Yes.
All party, even, there's no left, right. When we go in chaos, everybody suffer. That's what we are heading. That was my fear. I hope we can avoid that. I hope we can, and the only way we can avoid that, if Trump tells the truth, cooperate with them, goes to the Senate, and then just kill it there, then we avoid chaos.
Yeah, he goes to the Senate, it will, nobody will get 2/3.
Yeah, I think
so is that going to end the same result?
That could be quick.
Only thing is that by going procedure, it's okay.
Yeah.
Procedure is done, and as a result, he is still there.
He's still going to be there as long as there's no smoking gun there.
Okay,
right.
My dear friend, we're a little over our time, but still, we are happy because, at least I'm very happy, because this thing bothering me as where we are heading as a nation for a long time. Now it seems that we have got the answer from this friend of mine, my dear brother Chris Shahinian, that we are at a critical moment. We are at a dangerous moment. The moment being that nobody is going to let anybody go. All right. So let's keep our finger crossed. Let's just say God bless America. We prevail in the long end, right? So next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.